This money mistake is so easy to slip into, and it feels so natural that most of the time you don't even realize that you're doing it. But unfortunately, it can cause damage in a short amount of time. Any financial decision that is made out of panic and not planning can go wrong really fast.
It's amazing how many sources are tending to give us fear about the future, and that fear is what's causing the panic. There are some warning signs along the way that can help you see what you might be doing. One of the first warning signs is stocking up way too much. You see that an item might be going up in price in the future. So you stock up on it now so you can get it for cheaper prices. But it might be that it won't go up in the future. Now you spent all the money that you need for your daily expenses on stocking up when you should have been saving it.
When is the last time we saw that rush? During the pandemic.
Yes.
I remember vividly.
Oh, the toilet paper.
Here's an example of how this goes awry, guys. I remember hopping on social media, seeing a friend of ours say, "Oh my gosh, Sam's just got in a new shipment of toilet paper." And we got in the car and we're driving to Sam's and we went, "Oh my gosh, I hope they still have some left because we got to have that toilet paper."
And they're only 3 miles from us.
Yes, 3 miles of sheer panic, walking in and going, "Oh, we got it. We got the toilet paper." That is an example. When you are feeling that internalized, now it may not be that bad, right? But you're feeling that internalized anxiety that says, "Oh my gosh, I better go do this. I better do it right now or it's all going to be gone." That is what we're talking about. We're saying the panic that drives stocking up. There's nothing wrong with having a little extra. You need to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. But I want to know if I'm alone. Tell me in the comments section, did you ever at any point in time during the pandemic panic about toilet paper and whether you were going to be able to get it or not?
I kind of laughed about it. I thought it was just hilarious.
He thought I was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Now, with all kidding aside, Hope and I have talked about stocking up many times in our videos, and we find this to be a very important hedge against rising prices. But there are ways to do it. You have to plan for how you're going to stock up and stock up at a reasonable rate. Don't buy a ton of items that you may not even have room in your house for. Just buy a couple of items each time you shop and add those to your pantry.
Here's a super easy way to do this. We instituted this system years ago during the pandemic when we realized we're stocking up, we're spending more money on stocking up right now. So to react to that, we said, how are we going to do this without completely blowing out our budget? So we created something called our 1/5 method, and we still use it to this day. You know, take your entire budget for groceries, you can throw household items in there if you want to, and divide it into fifths. 20%, that's 1/5. Is set aside every month for stocking up. The other 80% is for your regular weekly grocery shopping. That system has helped us in order to have a fully stocked pantry and stock up when we need to without completely blowing out the budget.
Here's the question you need to ask yourself before you start stocking up. Do I really need this item, or am I just stocking up out of fear?
One of the things we just mentioned is the word system. We create easy, repeatable systems for areas of our budget we really want to get under control. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how we do that, we created a free resource. It's called the Budget Systems Blueprint. When you request the blueprint, you'll get it for free. You'll also be on the wait list for our Frugal Finance Super PAC, which will be opening in July. I'm going to leave a link to the Budget Systems Blueprint so you can request it. It will be in the video description. I'll also pin it in the comments section.
Let's talk about another warning sign that won't fill your pantry, but might completely fill up your mind.
Doom scrolling. You're scrolling, you're just looking, you're filling your mind with more and more and more negativity and more news of, oh my gosh, it's all gonna fall apart. I was scrolling a specific Facebook group and they were consistently putting out negative news. And I started doing it because I saw one or two things that they posted. I'm like, oh, I really agree with that. Well, I agree with that too. So I thought, well, I'm going to agree with everything they say. And I would find myself multiple times a week looking at it, absorbing that information. And Larry's sitting across the room. He's trying to read his book. I'm going, did you know? And he was finally like, okay, stop. You are doom scrolling. Is this person, is this group that you're looking at, is it well balanced really? Because I'm listening to you thinking it's not well balanced. Are you looking at other things that will counterbalance that? Are you looking at the other side of the equation? Are you looking honestly at the group that you are consistently scrolling and saying, are there some logical fallacies in what they're saying? Yeah. Are they going straight from this is going to happen to it's all going to end? That's called a slippery slope, by the way. And people use things like that all the time to get your attention, especially on social media. As soon as he said it, it was like a light went on. I thought, wait a minute, he's right. And I started looking more critically at where I was getting my information. If this is happening to you, because it causes a low-level anxiety that can really fill your mind.
Yeah.
You want to make sure, once again, that you pick 2 or 3 well-balanced sources of information, that you are looking at those information sources primarily. And whenever you see something that is different than that, you are asking yourself, did they cite their sources? They're saying this. Did they say where that information came from? A lot of times, believe me, on social media, they are
No,
not.
no.
Are they in alignment with the whole idea of you want to prepare, not panic? Or are they just inciting a specific reaction within me because they want to gain views? That's what you want to look at.
Here's another warning sign that will help you see that you're actually walking in panic instead of planning. And that's you're changing your plan frequently. You hear an item and you say, oh, I need to cut back. Or you hear something else and you say, oh, we need to buy gold or silver as protection for our retirement. And you hear another plan and it says to do something else. And it causes you to all of a sudden change plans about every couple of weeks on what you're trying to do.
Here's the question. Is there value in some of these things that Larry just mentioned? There may be. But before you do anything, you need to determine, does this really fit into my plan for our finances? Does it really fit into our values? Does it fit into our long-term goals? How does that fit in? Because when you begin making decisions based on, oh, XYZ person said to do this, therefore I'm going to do it, you find yourself going a bunch of different directions. And a centralized plan that is driven by values will every time beat out a bunch of other plans that are going off to the side and you don't know what the heck they're even for. You need to make sure you understand why you're doing something before you do it. But here's what actually does work. Simple, repeatable systems. Years ago, we implemented a system we use every single month to this day. It's called the PI method. Plan, implement, evaluate. Rinse and repeat every 30 days. It has helped us more than any other thing we have ever done to pick financial goals, stick to them, and reach them. Now, if you want step-by-step instructions, there's a workbook. We have a PI method workbook. I'll link it in the video description. But just understand, there is great power in something that works over time. If somebody is telling you something is going to work instantaneously overnight, it probably won't.
Warning sign number 4 is losing sleep. You're thinking so much of all the possible fails that can happen that it's costing you in your sleep patterns. And really, worry never gets anything done. It never accomplishes anything by itself.
Here's what you need to do. You need to get it out of your head and onto paper. It's the same, and one of the things we've taught for years now is that a goal isn't a goal unless it's written. If a goal is still sitting up here, it's not a goal.
Right.
This is the same thing. If you wake up at night and you find yourself thinking, oh my gosh, what if this thing happens? Because panic is driven by many, many, many external sources. I hope that's what you're getting, because panic is external sources that become internalized.
Yes.
And once they become internalized, you have to get them down on paper. You have to say, what is the root? What is driving this anxiety that I'm feeling? Get it down on paper, because once it's on paper, you can figure out a plan to deal with it. If the whole idea is, I'm afraid I won't have enough money to get to the end of the month, and that fear, that panic has become so internalized that now you really are having trouble getting to the end of the month without running out of money. And you're like, what is causing this? So you're waking up at night thinking, what's causing this? What's causing this? But you don't know what's causing it because you haven't taken the time to analyze it. Get it down on paper. Figure out where is the disconnect in the system, because everything in life is a system. You have input A, input B, which leads to output C. That's what finances are. Now, if you're listening and you're thinking, I get it, I understand panic and why planning should be done instead of panicking, but I'm with you, man. I am running out of that money before the end of the month. I've constantly got more month than money. We did a video that actually showed you exactly how to analyze that, figure out what's causing it, and then fix it. That video is right over there. Go watch it next.